Hi, good afternoon to everyone. I just want to share to you about how do you know that you're raising a child with bad attitude. Let's face it, no parents wants to raise a child with a bad attitude. But somewhere between the age of 0 and 18, every child has one, which means every parent must deal with it. In Ephesians chapter 4 verse 23 it says, "Be made new in the attitude of your mind." Clearly, God cares about our attitude. But does having a bad attitude constitute being a child with a bad attitude? What's the difference? And how do I know if I'm raising a kid with attitude and respect issues? Not every child who has a bad attitude is a child with a bad attitude. For instance, a child having a bad day differs from a kid with a bad attitude. One is temporary, the other ongoing. One is situational. Change the circumstances and you'll change the attitude. The other is systematic. Change the circumstances and the attitude stays negative. Still, having a bad attitude can result in being a person with a bad attitude. If not dealt with properly, how do you know if your child is sliding into the murky waters of major attitude and respect issues? I'll give you some signs that you are raising a child with a bad attitude. One more thing about everything is a battle. At its core, conflict is a power struggle. Every parent will have a conflict with his or her child. Power struggles are to be expected. However, if your child makes everything a battle, your child has an attitude issue you must address. Sometimes, well-meaning parents accidentally reinforce a child's bad attitude. Some that I discuss, there's a common ways good parents accidentally contribute to bad attitudes. Here are a few, the most common. Arguing with their child or with your child, just avoiding the real issue. Giving in to your child or your kids quickly learn just how much it takes to wear us down. Ignoring their child or your child. Negative behavior can be a cry for positive attention. Or failing to make expectation clear and realistic. Instead, be concise and concrete in your instructions. Establish clear boundaries with clear consequences. Be quick to reinforce positive behavior and prompt in dealing with negative behavior. Does all this take efforts? You bet, but consistency trumps complacency every time. The sooner you become consistent, the sooner you'll see a change in behavior. And just as important, a change in attitude.